new normal than this period. Are you hearing me, please?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there's no other time to know about the new normal than this period. And to be frank, it is as if the world is going to continue to be like this. And there are certain things that might not go back to as it used to be. It is not that a linear equation. In agri-economics, they told us about Cobb-Douglas equation, which is involved, you have various variables. So it's not a linear equation anymore. There are variables that if you integrate or solve, you hold them, then you need to solve the other one. So that's the world we are today. And I will be sharing I hope I can share the screen.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, so I'll be sharing the screen and I talk through, and as I'm sharing, are you seeing my screen now?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
So I will share the screen and they make it available. Then we'll continue. So my agenda is, I have on the agenda introduction, why the new normal, strategic imperative, and survival strategies. Now, let me put it on. Okay, we can see it better now, can't we?
Yes,
Yes,
it's
you
perfectly
can.
okay.
We can see it better now. Now, business interruption is not a new phenomenon to the world, and from history, we've been told that the world have received various shocks, and including the Great Depression of the 1930s, that had spiral effect all over the world. And the most recent was the global economy that had issue in the 1980s. We saw that the dot-com bubble and the global financial crisis that happened on the back of the subprime in United States, because whenever United States cough, the rest of the world will catch cold. So we saw that happening, and we saw that there have been business interruption, another set of incidents, a catastrophe that have set in, and that is the COVID-19 crisis, which none of us were prepared to. We were not prepared for this catastrophe. And in history, the world has never been prepared for any of the pandemic, whether it is financial pandemic, whether it is natural disaster, whether it is war, whether it is the Great Depression. The world have never prepared for it. But there's something that always comes, like what they taught us in risk management. There's a downside of risk and the upside of risk. The upside of risk is that there is profit that comes from taking a risk venture, and that comes with reward, high risk, high reward. The downside of risk that they are going to suffer loss. People are going to be set back. There are going to be job loss. There are going to be revenue loss. There are going to be business interruption. And that is exactly what we are seeing at the moment. But you'll be surprised to know that whenever there is a pandemic or whenever there is a bubble that bursts, it produces billionaires and millionaires. It produces new markets. It produces new sectors. And you never know that there's a new market now. And that new market is the market of face mask. Face mask has come out. It is a market. And that market will just be there. And the people that key into that market, the entrepreneurs that take opportunity of that window, are going to exploit it. And they are going to take it further by creating variations of that. And so that's what happens with interruptions and when the status quo is changed. My colleagues, in Futo, they taught us from year 1 to year 2, we all do engineering, drawing, and workshop, whether you are going to smart, management technology, agri-tech, industrial chemistry, industrial physics, engineering, and polymer. They all thought of, and they thought of a little bit about entropy. So the world is in a state of entropy at the moment. But after the Earth's entropy, the system is going to cool. So for my colleagues who are in engineering, they know about entropy. So we have entropy at the moment. But that entropy is going to be the new normal. A new equation is in place, and a new question, a new product, a new variable is going to come out, and that is the new normal. Now, lessons from the past disruption. Lessons from the past disruption have shown us that you either innovate or you perish. Every disruption is associated with multitude of companies going out of business, while some other show people are coming out with new businesses, new ventures. No country in this world we say that is immune from this pandemic. Now, let's stop there. For businesses, we have never thought that we are going to enter this kind of state that we are. And that will not result for us to leave our business, because we have stakeholders, we have shareholders, we have mouths that are depending on those businesses. And those mouths has to be fed. Business have to continue. And it is the nature of man to continue to evolve. But there is one thing that we in this part of the world have not been doing, and that is doing insurance. And insurance has actually played very key role in this period. And why will I say so? Businesses that have insurance have been able to make claims during the pandemic, especially in developed countries, not in Nigeria. But in Nigeria, we are beginning to be aware of insurance. If there's any time that we need insurance, it is when there is economic hardship. And insurance is actually part of your financial strategy. Insurance is actually part of your personal strategy to have insurance in place for small businesses, for big businesses. Look at the last incident that we had in Nigeria that was almost a catastrophic event, the NSAS. The insurance industry in Nigeria has admitted claims up to the tune of 2 billion naira. And that 2 billion naira are only those that actually had what we called fire and burglary insurance with strike and civil commotion extension. So the strike and civil commotion would trigger in when there is event like the NSAS and their businesses were destroyed. To set up a business is not easy. I have a lot of business owners and business managers in this forum, and you will not agree with me that it's a great setback. But if you have insurance, you will know that insurance will bring you back to the state where you are before the event occurred. Now that takes me back to the pandemic that the whole world is going through. Is there any insurance for the pandemic? The UK government, the American government are facing a lot of lawsuits against business interruption insurance. The traditional business interruption is worded in such a way that it's supposed to indemnify the business owners or business managers when there is a material damage. What is a material damage? When there is a fire damage on the premises, on their workplace, on the factory, and so they could not continue to produce or to do work that will result in profit or revenue generation. And so the business is interrupted. So there must be a fire outbreak, there must be a material damage before you can claim on business interruption. However, there is an extension to that. There's an extension that says if the business was interrupted as a result of outbreak of a known disease, then the business owners can claim. And so many people were not buying that extension before now. And when the pandemic started and business was interrupted.
Presenter, let me interrupt you at this point. You just hit a point. You made a very important point, and I would like you to emphasize on this very point before you proceed.
Okay,
well, there is a clause somewhere that says when there is a known outbreak, a known disease, that premium payers should do what?
When there's a clause that says you can actually extend your business interruption when there is a outbreak that will affect the business in place.
That's
continue
very nice.
to run. But people were not buying business interruption.
before you go on, that's because this is a very key important area that is facing many businesses now. What kind of insurance does a business need to have in order to begin to address towards claiming this kind of severity as a result of this pandemic? Before you proceed, I do not want to have the question wait for long so that it can flow along with your presentation. Just what kind of insurance policy?
The kind of insurance policy that business needs to have is called fire and consequential loss.
Oh, great.
You buy fire and consequential loss.
Thank you so much.
Or you buy what is called climate. In some claims, call it business interruption insurance. So that package is sold separately, but you must have a fire insurance with it. So that there must be an insurance. There's something they call perils and call hazard. But the hazard increases the occurrence of the perils, the insured perils. The insured peril is the thing that is going to cause loss, damage or loss. So for the peril to occur, for the peril, when the peril occurred and it now results in either a total loss or a partial loss or an interruption of the business, then if there is a pandemic loss, before now people were not, because the last pandemic that actually shook the whole world happened about 100 years ago. The internet, the subprime bust, the insurance, the people in investment banking were able to buy hedges. They were able to hedge against such losses with securitization, with various derivatives, and were able to protect their losses, especially in the capital and money market and in other financial instruments. But for insurance in every climb is a grudge purchase, and Nigeria is even the worst. You beg people to buy insurance in Nigeria, but it is actually for their own good. So if small business owners, let me tell you now, we are talking about the NSAS losses. The likes of Dangote, the likes of, let me not mention other people, they have already started claiming on their businesses that were damaged during the NSAS because why? They have insurance in place. Whereas the small business owners, mid-sized business owners are supposed to claim. But when you go to them, they will say, forget about it. They will only have motor insurance. We only have the mandatory third-party insurance. We're supposed to have insurance in place that will bring us back to where we are whenever there is interruption. Let's continue. So,
thank you so much.
So let me continue. So in today's world, I'm not seeing my whole slide. Just give me. I want to put this off.
While you put that off, thank you for that vital information. I will also want you to also include in your presentation so that we can benefit from it, how we can buy this insurance as small businesses. Very vital for us. Very vital.
There are insurance companies now that have what we call SME comprehensive, and that SME comprehensive covers the business risk that the business are exposed to, and even the risk of infidelity of your staff having to embezzle the money or run away with the goods, and the business will suffer. So, and that aspect of insurance is what we call fidelity guarantee, whether it is a blanket cover or a spot cover for the person that you have given goods in trust, or the people that are having access to cash in the business. We have what we call cash in transit or money insurance. These are all insurances that are in place. Now, as we continue to adjust to the new normal, it is important to acknowledge the challenges created by this and develop facing strategies. That is according to very risk is strategy, insurance strategy, and risk management consultancy. One of the key issues to have emerged in the coronavirus world is the imperative for businesses to find ways to produce more sustainability and demonstrate their social and environmental responsibility while operating to make bottom line. The world has changed because of the pandemic in terms of educational technology and business matters. Business owners and managers are faced with challenges of how to sustain themselves in their business times. No matter the size of your business, whether large or small or medium, it will be necessary to examine our process and reinvent some areas that need updating after the return to normalcy. Now, business interruption insurance. Now, let me go back to where we started. What is business interruption insurance? Like our chairman was asking me before. Business interruption insurance is intended to compensate for income lost during the time necessary to repair physical damage to covered property and may entitle the insured to recover additional expenses that would not have been incurred during the ordinary course of business. This means that that coverage is only triggered in most policies by having physical damage to the insured property. However, it's a clause that you can actually buy an extension. It's just like when buying a car that is full loaded options. Now, there are questions that have been thrown up. How does my business interruption insurance policy treat the novel coronavirus? Likely that the current business interruption policy has contemplated.
Mr. Speaker, I'll be interjecting from time to time where you make very vital points that are of need to businesses. When you release a bullet point that is so needed in businesses in Nigeria, I will always pause you. Please pardon my my unprofessionalism.
No, that would be nice. It's not unprofessional. I like that.
That is something you're going to do for me. I want to pause you so that you take a deep breath, so that we also allow our speakers to take a deep breath, so that you come back to this very point you want to make right now.
Okay.
I am so much interested in it because so many businesses does not know that they actually have the right to make these claims if they talk to the right persons. So please, right now, I will want you to focus on this very point. And I want our speakers to note this very important point you're about to make now, because it's very vital for businesses to sustain its operation. Without this kind of information, they will not know how to assess it. If Dangote is having so much money and is giving palliative, and yet he still is assessing insurance benefit, people will wake up tomorrow and ask why he is the richest man, because there is something he's doing right that we are not doing, even though we have the opportunity to do it. So I want you to focus more on this point you want to release now. I'm giving this room for every member who is present here to gather his or her attentions to the point you want to review right now. How the insurance policies of Nigerians can help them sustain their business is an important tips. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Can I reveal, like you just pushed me. I had wanted to go straight to strategy without insurance before, but I cannot do that. But with what you've said, I'm going to. Do you know that Dangote and Femi Otedala, their annual premium, they don't do anything without insurance.
Okay.
Cadbury does not do anything without insurance.
Okay.
Shell, Chevron does not do anything without insurance. As a matter of fact, these companies have insurance manager at an executive management level where their voice can be heard by the board. So what they do, that they have insurance premium in their annual budget. So the Dangote refinery that is still in the process of that have not started producing, while they were bringing some consignment to the site, they had what we call they had partial loss, and the insurance industry about 3 years ago were billed to pay up to the tune of 8 billion naira. And one insurance company covered that risk, was very greedy to cover that risk alone. And so he has to cover 8 billion naira to pay Dangote. And it's just on one aspect of insurance, fire insurance. They have marine insurance, under marine, they have marine cargo, they have marine, they have goods in transit, they have motor insurance, they have business or consequential loss, they have plant oil risk, they have machinery breakdown, they have engineering insurance, which covers electrical breakdown, plant oil risk, erectional risk for the cranes, and all this type of insurance. And whenever their trailer kills somebody, it does not bring out his money to pay. It pays from the total liability insurance policy that he has. Insurance policy under the Motor Insurance Act of 1945 has an unlimited liability. That's what people do not know. That the third party that you bought for 5,000 naira, when you jam somebody's face, when you kill somebody on the road, God forbid, when you jam some other persons, that the person can actually claim almost up to, the claim is unlimited, but lawyers try to argue it to bring it down. The problem with insurance in Nigeria that we lack, we don't trust insurance, but insurance is there. My organization last year had a reserve of almost 900 million on NSAS claims. And when we look at this NSAS claim, only 10% were from small and middle-sized businesses. The rest are from corporate businesses. And corporate businesses will find it difficult to come back to business after a pandemic or after a strike or after an event that have affected them. Whereas those who have access to funding, who have access to grants, who have access to money from central bank will buy insurance. Now there is something that is going on. There's a new growth in the insurance industry, and that is agri insurance. And the central bank, under the de-risking agricultural risk, is back insurance. So agricultural insurance is the new block on, just like you have the oil and gas desk in every bank. They have agri-finance in every bank, and they are giving out loans, and they are holding it. And when this come for insurance on the table, because I'm the head of agri insurance desk also in my organization, I see that youth corp, small business owners, snail farmers, fish farmers that make all the fish that we use for pepper soup and everything, fish pond, are all in the West. You find little from the East. They're all from the West, and the tomato farmers, all the tomato farmers in the North are insured. There's one on our desk which we are co-insuring with about 10 insurance companies in Nigeria, Association of Tomato Farmers from the North. They're all covered. So if there is flood and their tomatoes were not able to be harvested, insurance will pay those farmers. If there is outbreak of tomato blight, if there is an outbreak, any of the disease, they will be paid for. So why is it that that are small-scale business owners are not buying insurance? There are a lot of insurance packages out there for us. Let's go back to the COVID-19, the new normal. If you want to extend your cover to cover COVID-19, you will pay the premium and it will be covered. So that insurance companies, all the oil companies are buying kidnap and ransom cover. They all have kidnap and ransom cover now. There is kidnap and ransom cover now. It's available, but you have to pay for it. So virtually everything can be underwritten in insurance. In South Africa, even marriage is underwritten in insurance, the way you want your marriage to be. So you have to start planning for the kind of marriage ceremony or wedding you want to have, and you pay for the insurance. You buy that kind of insurance, and when it is coming under event insurance, the insurance company will pay out and dish it and organize. You all just the wife and the husband will just with their guests will just come. Everything has been underwritten. So virtually everything is underwritten by insurance these days. So coming back, how does my business interruption insurance treat the novel coronavirus? It is unlikely that the current business interruption policy has contemplated the coronavirus specifically. However, you should check to see if your policy has an exclusion that would disable coverage for an incident triggered by the epidemic or pandemic. Also, any claim will still need to be related to property damage for coverage triggered. Now, if the pandemic did not cause material damage, but it caused business interruption, so if that extension have business interruption as a result of pandemic, then you can claim. What we are claiming is the computed profit that you would have made if your business had not been. We have actuaries, we have accountants that can compute that profit from the time business was interrupted to when you came back to business, or when you are still in the period of follow that you are. Instead of going for government to get funding to come back, you can actually go back or fall back on your insurance. Does my business insurance cover me if my employees of concern about COVID? As explained, business interruption coverage requires related material damage. However, you can actually buy an extension, and businesses and insurance companies in Europe and in America have started giving that extension. And because there are businesses that have their parent companies in this location, Nigerian insurance industry have started granting those extensions. Now let's continue. No country in the world is able to provide widespread pandemic insurance, and the UK. For this type of cover to be available and affordable will require a very significant subsidy from the government. Yes, that is why the government is also subsidizing it in some climates. Let's, why the new normal? Why the new normal? COVID-19 outbreak has spread fear and uncertainty across the world. No country is exempt from this, and the more advanced countries and economies seem to withstand the worst of the attack. Before the pandemic, the world was already volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, which is what we call. The outbreak only increased these factors. So we have the issue that affected businesses across the world, and already the world was witnessing volatility in cash, volatility in the stock market, volatility in the capital market, volatility in crime that have affected businesses in some location who cannot get agricultural input from some location because of attack by hoodlums. You have uncertainty, you have war, you have complex issues, you have tornadoes, you have outbreak, and many other things. And what has those things caused? They have caused loss of job and revenue, resulted in remarking. They have resulted in health-related issues. They have actually depleted the fortunes and the income of many. And that now required a strategic imperative for us to come out of it. What are the outcomes? The outcomes is that there's a need for radical and gradual change. Some changes have to be radical. When somebody is involved in an accident, there is an operation that has to be performed immediately to either to stop edge or to stop the trauma. But there are some changes, there's some surgery that has to be gradual at the person recovery. So as the world is at the moment now, there are some changes that must be radical, be gradual. Business models have to be changed. Industry structures are changing. Consumer behaviors are changing. Market positions are changing. Sector attractiveness, workplace structure and style, technology adoption are changing. Local of raw materials are changing because of lack of funding, lack of foreign currency, because flights are no more going. So if you actually getting your raw materials from India, you may have to look for local sources. The other day, I saw a wine that is produced from Odara because the people could not longer look for things that grapes coming from Europe. So Odara, they've resorted to produce wine from Odara. And I tell you, it was very nice. It was sweet. It was good. Now, distribution sources, channels have to change. Who would have imagined that Okada, using of Okada to distribute products, would have been the in thing now? It was created out of the necessity. During the lockdown, the business started booming, and today it is a subsector of its own. The use of Okada to distribute product, to distribute hair, artificial hair, distribute food. You order food, it will be delivered to you through with an Okada. So we have all these that have been necessitated, and that is what that's the fact of that saying that is you innovate, you either innovate or you perish. So the new normal has come, and if it is going to change, it will just be, it's not going to be a quantum change. It's not going to be a geometric change. It's going to be maybe arithmetic. A few things will change, and will let us see how it has started showing. Before the pandemic, it was difficult to win an argument that intangible products like insurance could be sold virtually, as the sales process often required salespeople to meet prospects and answer their question before convincing them to buy insurance. But today, insurance can engage existing and potential policyholders, especially the millennial or youth population, that are comfortable to exchange chats through mobile devices and other online platforms. Do you know, we have started selling insurance. What forced the insurance industry to comply with what maybe in the developed world we have been doing? It was the pandemic. Those companies that were able to immediately execute their business continuity plan, their crisis management plan, were able to go immediately and change gear and move sales to online platform. And that is the new normal. And people are saying, we like it better here. We never knew it was going to be like this, so we prefer to buy online. And when we do customer survey, customers says we prefer it online. And they were reluctant. They were in the state of inertia. There was inertia. They were not ready to move to online platform. But the new normal has resulted to on platform. So business owners and business managers should start thinking about moving to online, migrating some of the offerings to online. It is not going to be face-to-face. And in fact, when you move some of these offerings towards online, you are reducing business cost. Business transaction costs will be reduced because they are online. You migrate to cloud, you migrate to various apps. We have people that are trying to develop apps for us now so that we can sell personal line insurance by us from the button, from everybody who have smartphone these days. So we can actually sell them. And what is that doing? The intermediaries that have actually made transaction costs to be high, you are now gradually eliminating them. I'm not saying there will not be face-to-face, because when you are insuring big complex factory, I need to go there with a qualified structural engineer to give me the structural engineer report that will help me to rate the premium on such risk. When I'm insuring a boiler or an oil rig, I need to fly in some engineers, some very, very geologists and all manner of engineers. I need to fly even psychologists that will talk to the people that work there so that I can actually rate them on their life insurance. But for small personal line insurance, that you complete your form online, you upload your picture, then you have your BVN and NNI. I can do background check from you, and before you know, you either PDF your policy or I'll send it to your email, and you have it there. So this is where the business is going, because the new normal pushed us there. We were reluctant to go there, but the incidents of the last 12 to 18 months have pushed us there, and business is not going to return to normalcy.
Okay, we are going to take a brief breath. Thank you so much for loading these ideas to us. But there is something I'll ask from you that we are going to do. When we come back, I will want you to give the point that small businesses must do to improve their opportunities in gaining access to this benefit that is being offered by the insurance operators to ensure that they sustain their business whenever they have breaches that is beyond their control. So while we will go on this 2 minutes break, you will take the time to itemize again. Like you made mention of some insurance like risk insurance, infidelity insurance, fire and burglary, what they need to put in place in order to ensure they enjoy the premium they are paying for and also adequately enroll for it and have the right payment structure to maintain it in order to qualify to claim it when they have occurrence. This would be the area I would like to focus on because there are some small business owners that do not know how to go about this. They don't know how to go about it. Some of them might not be in agriculture, but they are in light manufacturing, but they don't know how to set these operational know-hows. For instance, you made mention of Dagote having managers that go to NAS with insurance companies. Small businesses might not have this opportunity to hire a manager. How would they be able to cope? How would they be able to key in and enjoy insurance covers that will protect their business? We'll take 2 minutes break. It's going to be a dual role. Our audience, you take out time and fashion where this can help in your business or where you think you need help from this presentation so that he will use that opportunity to address you one-on-one on what you need to do in order to enjoy an insurance cover that will ensure the sustainability of your business. Even when you are not there, even when you are gone, they can be able to fund whomever that is carrying on with your vision to run your business as a result of getting a benefit from an insurance cover. When we come back, he's going to take us on the step-by-step approach to get at least one important insurance policy that every small business is expected to hold, that it will be within their budget and within their service level. I was privileged to work with ICO Insurance PLC in 2014 into 2015. And one of the things I find out is that people don't keep to their insurance claims. They don't pay their premiums. And when it is time for them to claim for that policy, they will not meet up because they've not been keeping to the terms of the policy. When we come back, he's going to guide us on what small businesses will need to do to enjoy a minimum cover and also maintain the premium payment. So within this time, take our time, stroll around, and we'll come back in about at exactly 2 minutes away from now. We'll be back. Thank you so much.
So we are going to the market.
Yes.
Got the password.
You're the mighty man in battle. Ancient of days. I'll sing your praise, Lord, all the way. Jesus, power, super power. Blessing, shower from above thy tower. Jesus, power, super power. Blessing.
Okay, I guess our speaker must have watered his throat. So at this very point in time, we will commence, and we want him to strictly speak to the small businesses on what they need to do, because it's quite clear that most of us who do not enjoy these benefits do not enjoy it because we do not know that they exist, and we do not know what we need to do in order to begin to enjoy them. So, Engineer Imo, you will do us a favor. Most of us here are running small businesses. ETC Food would love to have a premium that is within its budget. Just tell us what we need to do, the kind of premium, the kind of policy that is best suited for us. For instance, we are into light manufacturing. We convert agricultural raw material into finished products. We are not heavy manufacturer like Dangote, and we do not have the capacity to pay a specialist in insurance matters. How can we enjoy the benefit of insurance cover? The pandemic has affected our logistics. It has affected our raw material acquisition. It has also created some kind of, you called it impediments in operation or something like that. We have witnessed all this, but if we had had an insurance policy, if we had had an insurance guru within us, perhaps we could have gotten some level of coverage to recover our losses due to the pandemic, because sales dropped. A lot of things dropped. So you go on right now, tell us what we need to do, how we should do it, so that every young business that is in Nigeria, even if it has not been there, there are other pandemics that are coming up. They will come and they will meet it up. If they know what they did not know as of yesterday, they will do better. So you take us on what we need to do, the best insurance policy that these businesses can key into to help sustain their businesses. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, there are insurance policies for small and medium scale enterprises, and we'll call those kind of policies SME comprehensive. My organization offer that kind of cover. I have other companies that offer it in this climb, but 5 companies. Linkage Assurance offered SME comprehensive. Mutual Benefit offers it. Leadway has it. Asamansad also have it. And what is SME comprehensive? SME comprehensive is actually an insurance package for SMEs and the small business owners, so who are into light manufacturing, like you say. And so the main cover there, we have what we call the main cover. The main cover there protects the business owner against the risk of fire, against the risk of destruction. When we call fire in insurance, it's not just fire as a result of ignition. We call also overflooding, bursting of pipe, tornado destruction, tempest. These are all under fire insurance, and they are covered under SME comprehensive. You also have what we call burglary. Burglary is when there's forceful entry or exit into a premises by unauthorized person with intention to steal or to attempt to steal. In that process, the business or the content is affected, is stolen, or is damaged, is also covered. So if you have, for instance, I will do a little bit of insurance underwriting here. If you have, for instance, a business with a turnover of 200 million naira or 50 million naira or 10 million naira, and you said, okay, you are in a rented place and you want to insure it. So you tell us what is your rent, what is the value in case that building is gutted by fire. Assuming it's gutted by fire, the value of that building is 10 million naira. Then that represents the landlord fittings and features. Then you have your small machines that you are doing, your light manufacturing. So those light machines and machineries, we put the value, and let's say the value comes to 5 million naira. Together, that will now be the value for the fire in case fire got everything out, and you insure it 5 million times 0.225%. And you see that multiply it, we have mathematicians there. 5 million times 0.225%. What's the premium? Chinedu?
Okay. 5 million times
0.225.
Okay, just give me a minute. 5 million. Okay, that's about 1,125,000 naira.
No, percent.
That's 11,250.
11,250. That's the premium.
11,250. Okay, 11,250.
11,250 is the annual premium to protect assets that worth 5 million naira.
Wow. So you pay 11,250 naira annually to protect
as a premium, yes, to protect that asset. What people will say, why is insurance foolish? No, insurance work on the law of large numbers. Pooling. We pool resources, we pool premium. So when everybody that is in that premium pool are not going to suffer loss at the same time. If there is a catastrophe which involve losses that everybody will suffer, the magnitude of loss, the magnitude of your own damage is not going to be uniform. So if you draw the curve, it's going to be a bell-shaped curve. So some people are going to be high, some people are going to be low in that curve. So not everybody will suffer loss at the same time. So that is the premium for that. So for small business owners, they have to insure. You don't need an insurance manager as a small business person to do insurance. All you need to do is to give a call to the insurance office. You can walk in. Yesterday, somebody walked into our office and said he wants to renew his third-party insurance. We now told him we have an upgrade of third party, which we call the third party plus, which was actually designed by me. It was a game changer in the industry. When I came out with that product 5 years ago, when I saw that people were not able to pay comprehensive premium for comprehensive cover, and when they buy third party, they cannot claim when they jam somebody's car, they are on their own, but the insurance company will repair. So I do an actuarial evaluation and came out with a product that was approved by the National Insurance Commission for my organization, and we were given 3 years to sell it without other insurance companies selling it. And so it is called a third party plus at 10,000 naira. You buy what is called own damage of 250,000 naira. So the guy said, I didn't even know. I was coming in for the ordinary third party, but I don't know that I can have something that is not just let police allow me to pass. If by my recklessness or by accident, I jam another person's car from the back, I'm at fault. But my insurance company will repair that person's vehicle, and I'm going to repair my own on my own. But if I have a third-party plus insurance or a comprehensive, I can actually have my repair up to the tune of 250,000 naira, just for 10,000 naira. And that has been one of our cash cows. So coming back to SME comprehensive, there are insurance policies for SMEs, not just for big companies. So you can actually walk into an insurance company, produce an inventory, or you call, let me do a personal advert. You can call me. I will come and rate it and make sure that you get a very, very competitive rating, depending on the location, and you will cover that. If you are into consultancy, and it is a law that you're supposed to have what we call professional indemnity cover. When you give somebody a consultancy brief, or you are a structural engineer, you design a structure like building, and there was a default, structural defaults, or you are a medical doctor, and due to your diagnosis and the prescription, there was a malpractice, or it went the other way. You actually have to claim on your professional indemnity, even lawyers. And that is what people do not know, that professional indemnity is there for you. And instead of you going to court or going to bring up money from you, all you have to do, what is the value of my professional advice? What is the media? What is the media value I charge people for my professional advice. What is the turnover of those companies that I do business with? Now, if it is, let's say it is 50 million naira, that is the turnover of those people. Now, you can buy a professional indemnity and the rate is between 1%, between 0.75% to 1% of that, which you can actually pay, depending on the kind of business. So the professional indemnity cover that an accountant is buying or a lawyer is buying will be cheaper or lower depending on the kind of chamber he's running. So it's not actually that I'm going to give you the rating I will give a very big four law firms. Do you know actually that Ernst & Young, KPMG, they all have professional indemnity every year?
Wow, that's wonderful.
These people, Accenture, they have professional indemnity. PwC renewed their professional indemnity with us. They all have professional indemnity. The big four consulting firms, they have professional indemnities. And here we are with our portfolio consultancy services. And when somebody say that the business plan that we gave him, the marketing plan did not work, and therefore he's going to sue us, and we start running and start developing high blood pressure, whereas we can actually run to our professional indemnity and so bring out our policy, and professional indemnity insurance company will actually, perhaps there's nothing wrong, because insurance company have experts that will look into the contract and see actually there was no default. It was the problem of implementing those advice, the business advisory that we are giving, that resulted in your inability to realize the benefit you are supposed to realize from the consultancy. So that is where professional indemnity insurance come in from. Business owners also supposed to have professional indemnity. They also are supposed to have what we call key man insurance.
Exactly.
No matter
that is where I want to. That's where I wanted to.
Of their business, you're supposed to have a key man insurance, and especially when you are into partnership with some other person to float a portfolio firm, you're supposed to have a key man that if anything happens, the business will be a continual thing, because
okay, let me pause you here. I want to extract something from your experience at this point. You see, key man insurance. I want to give you a practical question to address. It's a question I already prepared for you before you hit it. I thank God you hit it. It means that we are covering the key things that small businesses need to sustain and survive.
Okay.
You see, during the time of access to funding, especially when it has to do with state fund, for instance, when the Central Bank of Nigeria want to give your business a loan and they consider some key factors, or a commercial bank want to give you a loan, you qualified. And you find out that some businesses have key man insurance issues as a result of running the business alone, and they are disqualified from getting this. Now, you made mention of key man insurance. I want to get something from you, from your experience. Small businesses which do not have structure are likely to suffer denial for access to fund as a result of key man insurance. Is there anything they need to do in order to assure whomever that is raising that as a bar line for them in the insurance scope?
Yeah, there's something they have to do. You have a business plan. Okay. And that's why I tell people, for you to have any business, no matter, even if it is a barbing shop, I've written business plan for a barbing shop. I've written a business plan for a small shop as a pepper soup restaurant. And the guy was looking for funding from a development bank. Okay. And they asked him to get a business plan. So the business plan is sets you up about your strategy. Now, I have tried to run away from issue of strategy. Now, what is strategy? Strategy is plan. Strategy is your ploy. Strategy is your pattern. Strategy is your perspective. Strategy is the position you take. So, according to Misbeck, Professor Henry Misbeck of McGill University, it says that it's called what they call 5 P's of strategy. So that 5 P's of strategy shows that everything you do in life, there must be strategy. My professor Unilag used to say that you might not be interested in strategy, but strategy is interested in you. Before we set up this forum, there was strategy. Our planning was strategy. So small businesses need to have strategy. Even if it is just 3, they have 5 employees in their team. And why they have not been able to access funding is because they do not have business plan. If you bring out your business plan, the business plan gives your funder it gives them the direction where Peter Eboye wants to ask question. I will come. It gives a funder the direction where business is going. It gives them the sources of income to those business. It gives them the source where the business is going to have raw material. It gives structure to the business. So they'll be able to give you access to fund. And they were able to give, because when you buy a key man insurance, that is a security, that is second level security that says that this business, if the founders, if the visionaries are no more there or incapacitated, this business will be a going concern.
Okay.
It's going to be a going concern. Somebody is raising Peter Eboye.
I will give him the opportunity to ask the question. I also see Rosemary raise her hand. But before then, I need to clarify something from you so that those whom have been denied, because I was in the committee of entrepreneurs that was to assess a particular fund from the federal government. Some were eliminated because they submitted business plan, but in their business plan, it showed clearly that they have key man insurance impediments. They did not buy any policy, but their business plan shows clearly that they are running the business as an individual operators, and so they were eliminated from the process. Now, if they have this business plan, can they buy insurance that will cover them and take away the key man insurance clause that is preventing them from accessing these government facilities? That is in addition to the question that Rosemary and Peter Eboye will bring to you, Prof. Thank you so much.
Okay. Let them ask their question. I'll answer everything together.
Great.
Peter, okay.
You can unmute Mr. Peter Eboye. You can unmute and ask your question. After that, Rosemary, we are raising your hand previously. You can also throw in your own question. Thank you so much, Mr. Peter.
Thank you, sir. My question has to do with claims. Actually, I've listened extensively to the Prof's submission, especially as regards to the importance of insurance and with small scale businesses. And obviously, just like insurance companies, insure businesses, they also pay claims. And of course, small businesses or any customer will only appreciate the importance of insurance at the time of claim, because that's when you have value for your money. That's when the product you have purchased, the importance of it. And I just want to ask the Prof, what time scale, does the insurance industry have for settlement of claims? Because a claim delayed, if a small business experiences a loss and the claim is delayed, obviously that intensifies the business interruption. Because my experience with the insurance industry in Nigeria for the brief period, I actually encountered was such that, when an individual or a business suffers has a claim, sometimes that claim is delayed. Sometimes a claim that should take maybe 1 or 3 months to settle, it drags on for a year or 2. And of course, a business that collapses and the claim is not settled, how does that business go back into operation? So I just want to know, people like Dangote, do you settle individual or small scale businesses on the same template with which you settle Dangote's claim? Because this is where, small businesses will appreciate, the importance of insurance, because it will give assurance and confidence that, okay, if I should suffer a loss in future, my business will not be interrupted for so long I can go back. So can the Prof please explain, the claim settlement.
Okay,
What is the time scale?
Thank you so much. Rosemary, can you ask your own question so that the prof can attend to it? Hello? We can't hear you. Your mic is off. Meanwhile, Prof, we'll give you time to gather the question. Rosemary, your question should be, what is the Keyman insurance? Is that your question? Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so Prof,
Yes.
we are going to take a minute break. After that minute break, when we come back, Prof is going to attend to the 3 questions. If there's any other concern, any other persons that need an urgent address to his question, he can add it on the comment section so that when he's coming, he is coming with response to them all. But I want to assure you that although we have designed this program to look into things that will help you sustain your business, but we have decided to focus on insurance for this particular one because the pandemic broke into various businesses that only insurance can salvage. The pandemic made a lot of gaps within businesses. It made a lot of shifts within businesses that only insurance can salvage. The pandemic created a lot of vacuum that the government is supposed to use the insurance, those who have these policies, to boost the economic thriving of our nation. But you see them doing something different. So when Prof comes back, he's going to give us answers to our query, and if we have more, he will attend to it. So we'll have the time for 1 minute break. Thank you.
Constantly changing technology offers limitless possibilities and risks in quality of business decisions. Trusted insights are required for best results. We're proud of our clients and what we have achieved with them. We also believe our clients are proud of us. We are General Marine and All Services Limited.
Okay.
Our partners called
our presenter is ready to, our speaker is ready to attend to our questions. You're welcome back to the final break section.
And we
okay, thank you very much. Keyman Insurance is actually a life insurance policy. Life insurance is divided into what we call mortality cover as well as benefit cover. That people, benefit cover is where the beneficiary is still alive and he will benefit from his deposit.
There's an audio still playing at the background, disrupting. Okay. Not from mine.
Okay,
yeah,
let me check the technicalities of our background. Okay.
Okay. So the Keyman Insurance covers the key persons, the visionaries, or the key persons to the business. In case anything happens to them, the business will not suffer. So the people that take up Keyman Insurance are the entrepreneur himself, the person that has the vision, the visionary of the business, the key person of the business, the person that if is, God forbid, by his demise, the business will just gradually go out because the sources of funding, the sourcing of raw materials, the machine, the design of the product, and everything is centered on these 2 or 1 person. And so his life is very important. And I'm sorry to keep on going to the big man in the Nigeria conglomerate. But do you know that if anything happens to these big people, the Dangotes, the Femi Otedolas, the Adenugas, many banks will be ready to bring out their plane to fly them to the best hospitals in the world because they don't want anything to happen to them. If they just try to cough, you have planes that are ready at the hangar trying to come in. They want them to, because they are key persons to their business. And those banks are funders to what they are doing. So for the small business owner, the key man insurance is taken to provide and say, okay, if anything happens, we quantify the damage that this business is going to suffer to the tune of 500 million naira. And so you take out a key man insurance for that person up to the tune of 500 million naira, sum assured. That sum assured does not mean that you pay a premium of 500 million naira. What it means is that the value you place on that person being alive, on his being alive or to sustain business, or if he has a disability that will make him not to be present on the business, the value is 500 million naira. And the company pays an appropriate premium. You have actuaries that will rate, use what we call mortality table. The mortality table will look at the age of that person. And the mortality is people in this age. This is where actuaries are actually financial economists and insurance mathematicians who will now do a forecast on different life cycles and different regions, and came up with a mortality table and said, okay, this person, based on his pre-existing medical records, we expect that he will die in the next 50 years. So if he's taking a key man, we're going to give him a rate that is this. Whereas if this person, we expect him to die in the next 10 years, if he's taking a key man, we give him a rate of this, even though it is the same sum assured. So the key man is taken and it can be renewed annually because it is a cover, it is an insurance package. And funders, business funders, or development banks that give out loan are more careful when you have a key man insurance. The same thing happens when you have an insurance and you approach them for funding. They are ready, quicker to give you access to fund because you have insurance. You have a key man, if you have a fire insurance, you have a business interruption insurance, place you on a better pedestal to get business, a better footing to get your funding than somebody that does not have. So for them to approve, and how do you get your key man insurance? You approach a life insurance office, and that life insurance office will look at the evaluation of the business, whether it is a small corner shop or a big business. It will be valued, and the actuaries will come up based on the key man, the financial standing of the key man, and apply, and that will now help him in his business to access fund. Now, part of the things that they also ask you that when you want to access fund is that you have to have an insurance. It's just like when you want to go into mortgage, when you are buying a house or accessing mortgage, you need to have a credit life insurance. What that credit life does is that the credit life gives the mortgage company the assurance that if anything happens to you and you are not able to pay the mortgage, they will fall back to your credit life insurance and recover the outstanding, which is why in credit life under mortgage, it is arranged in what we call decreasing sum assured. So as the mortgagee and mortgagor, the premium is paying the premium, then the sum assured will be reducing because that is the value of the risk. The risk value at risk is reducing. The same thing happens with the key man. For key man, it gives the funder the assurance that even if the person dies, that the business will continue to be, and he will continue to recover his investment or the fund that he has given out, depending on the time he wants the fund to come back, depending on the ROI that he wants, and depending on the ROE. The thing that happens with small businesses is that they don't actually take into cognizance to have well-structured business plan that will show your financial projection. You can get access, and that is one of the things that I would like the hub to do. That the innovation hub can actually have outsource or have people that have the prerequisite accounting background to do financial forecast, 3 to 5 years financial forecast for small businesses. and run their financials to see when they will break even and when they will start making profit. For instance, nobody knows. I have somebody that went, and nobody knows when every business have different cycles when they are going to break even and when they will start making profit. And that is what funders are looking. Funders are looking at what time frame will it take you to break even and start making profit and start paying back and be on your feet. So if you do not have good financial projections, you might not be able to access funding. And in your financial projections, we have a line for insurance, which means some items in your OPEX, operating costs and expenses, have been insured. So they have to look at this before you can be able to access fund. Then coming back on the issue of claim in Nigeria. Now, the time cycle for settlement of small business claim is not the same time cycle for settlement of large business claim. Now, I am not marketing for my organization, but in my organization, in our strategic document, we have a timeline of 24 hours after the execution of the discharge voucher. That is insurance technical jargon. What does that mean? When you have a claim, for instance, we have settled most of the claim, small business claim of NSAS business. I heard there were a couple of photo alumni members that have businesses that suffered during the NSAS. And when I heard it, it disturbed my mind because they did not have insurance. If they had had insurance and their insurance agent or broker or insurance friend have told them that they can actually buy strike and civil commotion extension on their fire policy, when the people that were coming and start destroying and damaging things, where they will just be at peace, because at the end of the day, all they have to do is to submit a loss report, an inventory of the things that were damaged and their losses, and insurance will put them back. If my organization could have paid 750 million claim since October to now on NSAS claim, if you want evidence, I can on Monday post the evidence to us. 750 million naira claim. Then we still have another 800 million on reserve. And the ones that we treated, what we call IBNR, incurred but not reported losses. So insurance are there to pay claim, and the life cycle of claim settlement on small business is shorter than that. Insurance have actually developed in Nigerian market space for now. It is not what it used to be 5 years ago, because your ability and your time to pay claim is a competitive variable. Because if you do not pay claim on time and the insured finally got his claim, he might not be able to renew with you next time. So insurance companies sees claim settlement as a competitive variable that they have to key into and make sure that claims are paid on time. But one other problem that affects claim payment is your inability to submit substantiating document to substantiate your claim. If they said, please fill the claim form online or deliver it and allow us access to your factory or to your premises to investigate the damages, please allow. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for that explicit explanation. I hope that those who asked the question are satisfied. For me, I am okay, and I thank God I keyed in for this program. Rosemary, do you still want to ask your question on the time for small? Please, can you ask your question directly to the presenter? Hello, Rosemary, are you there? Okay, she was trying to ask what's the best time for small business to start running an insurance policy, if I understand her question very well. She put it on a chat, but I couldn't get it comprehensively. She asked, let me read it from the chat so that if you can give it a shot before we go to the next section of closure. I would like to know how long at which a small business can be assumed when there is issue in their business? Thank you. That was Rosemary's question she posted in the chat.
How long? Come again, Chinedu.
I would like to know how long at which a small business can be assumed when there is issue in their businesses.
I think Rosemary will need to clarify the question. That assumed is a bit confusing. Rosemary,
I think she's trying to say when can they start making...
No, let her speak. She's unmuted now.
Okay, speak. Rosemary, we are listening to you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
can you hear me? I was asking how long? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I was asking how long can a small business, it was a typing error. I mean assured. How long can a small business be assured when there is issues in their business? Like how long can it take? Is it a month, like 2 months before the insurance company can look into their matter and settle the case, or it takes more than 1 year or so? I just want to know the duration.
Oh, okay. It depends. In fact, it's like when somebody is sick, you do not wait until the sickness gets severe before you go to the doctor, or you go to the pharmacy, or you go to your NHS for those in UK, or you access your Medicare for those in US, or get your GP. So immediately you have a claim, please notify your underwriter, notify the insurance company, notify the insurance agent. These days, insurance companies have a website that are 24/7, and they have customer service that are running that respond to insurance. Like now, my customer service people are raising covers for people who bought insurance this afternoon. I have approved online this morning and this afternoon. I've approved online some certificate for those who have bought insurance cover online, and actually those who have incurred claims that have registered their claims. We have pushed it to a central claims unit, who have also, if it need be for somebody to go and investigate the claim. Somebody is working on short claims at the moment now, even if it is in Gwagwalada in Abuja, even if it is in Ochanja, because we are covering market in the outbreak of fire in Onitsha, and market have resulted for us to cover shop insurance. So immediately you have a claim, immediately you have a loss, immediately your shop is boggled, immediately your staff ran away with your goods or your money, and you have fidelity guarantee insurance. Please immediately notify the insurance company. Just like today, any vehicle that is in excess, the sum insured, the value is more than 7 million naira or up to 5 million naira, we put tracker, because the tracking machine the tracking device is more beneficial to the insurance company than the owner of the vehicle. Last week, my church member, a deacon in my church, brought his vehicle for insurance, and I told him we're going to insure it. So he called me and said, Elder, my car is not moving again. No, what happened? You people told me you are going to track it. I said we were testing with GPS to know the effect of the tracking device that you have installed. I tell you now, I have your tracking report now. You are in front of Abidjan GRA. You are in front of, this is what you are doing. I can see you now. I said, how did you know? I said, because they notify me. They are tracking it because I'm the agent. So immediately you notice. So we put that tracker to immobilize the vehicle. If, for instance, he said that his driver has run away with his vehicle, which has happened, and the man was heading towards Smes. By the time he reached Airport Road, the vehicle was immobilized immediately. We mobilized the vehicle. The insured notified the insurance company. The insurance company, we mobilize it, we call the tracking office, and they mobilize it because they work with the telecommunication company. Immediately, they'll use GPS to find where it was and immobilize it now. So these days, it is very important for you to, as quick as possible, notify insurance company, and you can do your claim notification online. You can even do it by text message. There are toll-free lines that you can do it. Thank you very much, Rosemary.
Thank you very much, sir.
Prof, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay. I know that this is about strategy to sustain businesses.
And we have deviated. We went to insurance.
Yes, because you said because you began to talk about very important things. For us, somebody like me who is also a business owner, it is extremely important and extremely interesting for me because I've had 2 major losses, and I just saw that if I've had fidelity insurances, and I would have been saved from those losses. I'm still paying the debt of those losses. To be frank, the debt are still up to about 27 million.
Chairman, as a matter of fact, most businesses suffer losses like this could have taken care of.
So, and in fact, one of the contract was with Dangote, and the value of that contract was $2.9 million. You understand? So, and it was shut down because of fraudulent behavior of one of my staff. You know, so
you could have been covered on that fidelity guarantee.
Exactly. So, and that's why I'm sure that Chinedu was excited and asking those questions, because he is also a business owner. He owns a factory. He produces, and just like me, who produce in another industry as well. Do you understand? So, I'm going to digress, and after that, I will allow you now take us back into where we really want to hear, which I'm seeing the strategic imperatives for business in the new normal. Now, I find why it's important is that it's a 2-pronged question. Whether people who, insurance companies who are recalcitrant can be punished for all these type of behaviors.
For non-payment of claims.
Okay. Collins, I can't hear you anymore.
Okay. Can you hear me now? A call came and was distracted. Okay,
I can hear you now.
Now, I know about the third party and what third party insurance is about.
Yeah.
I'm also excited. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Chairman, maybe you should attend to the call and come back and deliver that question.
Yeah, when the call comes again, but I want to rush the question.
Okay.
So now,
Okay, Prof, while he's getting back to that question, I thank you so much for this presentation. Remember that the strategic imperatives, you will give it to us.
Okay, so I'm back now, right? I've told the guy that I will call him back.
Okay.
Okay.
So now I was in Abuja 2 weeks ago. As I was coming out of my hotel, you understand, going to look for any of these gardens where I can take a bottle of drink or 2. You understand, a big garden. And I saw an accident, a serious accident. 2 cars, one hit the other. And as they were arguing, I went to the guy who hit the other guy, and I asked him for his insurance document. He was reluctant. He didn't believe in the insurance he bought. He said what he bought is just the 5,000 naira third-party insurance. And I said, your insurance can cover this man. I know that it's up to $1 million or above. So why are you guys quarreling? What's the apprehension? So I picked his insurance. Eventually, I picked his insurance document, and I called the number on that on the card. Now, the guy that picked the phone, I called the Abuja office. The guy now said that we should call the head office, and the number of the head office number was not going. The head office is supposed to be Lagos, and it was not going at all. So what it means is that guy is going to be stuck there. Now, I had tried it before with another company. I think it was in Linkage or so. There's another insurance company sometime back on the bridge. And when we called the insurance company responded immediately. But this other guy didn't respond. And if this guy was the first if that insurance company was the first one I met, I would have just assumed that that is how all insurance companies are. But if I hadn't had experience with the other one, because I was in that car and then the other vehicle's bus hit our vehicle, and I took the bus's insurance company document and I called them and they said, take the pictures and get the police report and come down to us and everything will be handled. And they handled it. The whole cost was about 75,000 to repair it, and the insurance company paid for it. You understand? So now, all these ones that are recalcitrant, what are there punishment for them? You understand? For at least so that they won't have the type of experience that Peter Eboye is talking about.
There is what we call the insurance complaint protocol in National Insurance Commission. And today in the morning, because I lecture at the Insurance Institute, I was lecturing my students, and the topic for today was consumer protection. And we were actually treating consumer protection about the consumer that have the right to access NICOM hotlines to report any insurance company that have any unethical conduct. And so we have hotlines that are always around that you can actually call and report any insurance company that have this kind of behavior. It is not good to have this kind of behavior. The person was supposed to, and that's what I also teach people when I'm handling customer management, that your responsibility to another person, as long as you are earning salary and working for that organization. The third party, the customer does not know any other place. Doesn't know your Abuja office. It doesn't know your head office. It doesn't know your head of claims. Or it doesn't know all he knows is that you work in that office. You are certain, and so you must always have duty in every 12. And so I'm sorry for that. For the attitude of that person. And if I'm in that office, I will query. And it's not good. What you should have done is to entertain that at that particular moment and immediately office and said, if they have an office in Abuja or they have an office in Owerri or they don't even have it and you are making a claim, you're supposed to start immediately put the process of attending to that claim from that place. Please, sorry for that. Not all of us behave like that.
Yes, so importantly, thank you so much for that feedback. I must really commend you for that question, Chairman, and I must commend the response given by Prof. In last year, I had an insurance premium from a company based in France, and that premium covers me for eye tests, for health tests. I bought it in Lagos, and when I called, they tried to play smart, but haven't been in the insurance industry. I understood where he was going to. I said, okay, don't worry, I'll give you a call. And I sent a mail immediately and I got attended to. So when we come back, I want a summary. There is a very important, tempting topic I'm seeing here that the Prof have to deliver. He will give it to us in bullet points. Do not feel discouraged that we have to focus on the insurance because it affects business more than any other source of business operation. I can tell you that for sure. In 2018, when we are among the businesses that World Bank was interested in, if not for some of these structures in place and the ones that we are able to seek consultancy in, we will have missed out. So when I decided to make this talk to focus more on insurance, it's not that other strategies are not important, but I know that small businesses do not pay key attention to this. And when they are underperforming with their projections, they don't know where the losses are coming from, and they don't know exactly how to use it as an asset of finance to grow their businesses. Yes, it is very imperative to note that not all operators in the industry of insurance are honest and fidel to the promise of insurance cover. But if you have a very good, reliable insurance provider, like he just pledged that if you contact him, he will give you the best of service, those of clean integrity that understand the profession, that runs it with passion, they will give you the best hands you need. That's why I decided that we'll focus on insurance. If that is what we get today, and other important areas are given to us in bullet, I think we have done justice to today's topic. And I know that he will be available to take up more interest as it arrives. So when we come back shortly, we will have him give to us the strategic imperatives for the new normal. I hope this gets us running faster. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
No.
I have one of the adverts.
Okay. Please, we can play it. Meanwhile, I want to also use this period to thank all our supporters. We want to thank Smes Industries. We want to thank Rex. We want to thank GMO Oil. We want to thank photo business owners. They've been supportive in terms of supporting the team that works at the background of the iHub. If you look into the various advert promotionals that we run on the program, you see them. They have always responded whenever they are being called upon. Chairman, please just give us that of GMO. They have been supportive in all areas, both in team bonding and
for best results. We're proud of our clients and what we have achieved with them. We also believe our clients are proud of us. We are General Marine and All Services Limited. Our partner is called MO Services. We inspect, we assure, and we... Trusted insights are required for best results. We're proud of our clients and what we have achieved with them. We also believe our clients are proud of us. We are General Marine and All Services Limited. Our partner is called MO Services. We inspect, we assure, and we certify. What we do: inspection. We have eyes for details. We look deep to find the facts using the best observatory tools and techniques. Assurance. Our word is our bond. At GMO, we use the best judgment from facts to guide our clients with the best decisions. We do this with professionalism, and our clients believe us. Certification. Our signature is golden. When we issue a certificate, we mean it. Our inspection and assurance activities are certified true value. Our range of services include product inspection, lab testing, cargo inspection, technical inspection, environmental services, warehouse management. We deploy our specialized skills to accomplish safe operation and excellent services to the advantage of our clients. General Marine and All Services Limited, GMO, is an emerging leader in inspection, assurance, and certification services. For inquiries, visit us at 2 Whole Lane GRE at Papa Lagos, Nigeria, or call 070-98.
Is ready to give us the last dinner.
Okay, back to our discussion. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful time in your presence. I didn't know that we were going to steer the way of insurance, but that's okay. That's part of strategy as well.
Yeah.
You know, you have in strategy, you have intended strategy, then you have what we call emergent strategy.
Exactly.
So when the emergent strategy comes because of state of affairs in the environment, you now need to re-strategize so that you can continue on your objective. So we have our intended strategy, we have emergent strategy, then two of them will take us to the promised land. So we back on our talk, business in the new normal, strategic imperative. Now, to remain in business and survive in the new normal, individuals and business owners and managers need to learn how to navigate through the storms. Otherwise, the boat may capsize in the waters, and if they don't, they might be attacked by the sharks and other wild animals in the market. Forgive me for using this metaphor. I'm a student of animal science, so I still have to put animal science and strategy together. So, you remember in the Bible, we were told about Joseph. And when there was a time of plenty, Joseph actually took insurance cover, agric insurance. So Joseph stacked out resources. The first food security strategy was taken by Pharaoh and Joseph. And Joseph was actually the Secretary of State, the Prime Minister at that time. And he was the insurance manager of Egypt. So he was actually to do the strategic imperative was that we must not suffer as a result of food. So in time of plenty, let's have a food bank. So Joseph established food bank, and that was what we are seeing today. The first food bank, the first insurance was done in the Bible. Joseph actually had a food bank by starting out grains, starting out those variables that would have made Egypt, and which made when the period of famine came, people were coming from other parts of the world, and Egypt was in plenty. And that was how the pyramids were built, because they were also stocking foods in the pyramid and also in the silos. So the strategic imperative for us now is to revisit our business model. The strategy that took us last year to make profit might not take us into 2021 to make break even. So for us to remain afloat, businesses need to rethink the business model. For us to survive and remain afloat, we need to execute certain strategic imperatives. Business, we have to rethink their business models. What was the business model? Where am I getting my raw materials? Where am I getting my labor? Can I do with online sales? Can I close some stores because overhead cost is going up and push distribution online? Can I now use Okada and other means to distribute this product? Can I go to, what happened recently was very interesting. In the name of resilience, some manufacturers now shifted gear and started manufacturing what? Hand sanitizers. They were doing, I saw online, and when I read one of the strategic documents, strategic journals I normally read, a whiskey company in America stopped production of whiskey and moved to production of using the ethanol and the alcohol to produce hand sanitizer. And that was rethinking their business model. Instead of them to go out of business entirely, they now moved to the next demand pool. The demand was pulling. So business have to rethink what is the next demand pool. And I know a lot of my friends today, I was been able to discharge. I would have gone to Ojata to deliver, to hold 2 lectures for those who are doing professional exam in Chartered Insurance Institute. But with Zoom and Teams, we deliver these lectures online. And so people in Abuja, people in Calabar are able to log in, do the assignment, and we all interact within those 2 hours from 10 to 12 o'clock, and we deliver our lectures. And even the role, normally in face-to-face, we were having 12 students. But I tell you now, we're having 35, 34 students because of Zoom. So business models need to be challenged. Their business models have been challenged, and they need to respond to the new normal. They need to become more agile. Strategic flexibility is a very great virtue that you need. Do not just think this is what I used to do and this is what we need to do. That will not pay the bills. There will be need to be a little bit flexible. There's a little bit to be strategy, need to be nimble so that you can move it to any structure you want it. Managers and owners of business must develop the ability to manage complexities, which is what we are facing now. A key to survival in these challenging times may lie in the adjusting our business practices, channels, or models. Business managers must create or put in place business continuity plan or disaster or crisis recovery plan. This is very critical. Every business, even if it's pure water, must have a BCP, a business continuity. The person that distributes to you for you today might decide it's not coming tomorrow. So you have lots of manufactured raw material lying waste.
Okay. While he is giving us those insights, I hope that...
Do you have a business continuity plan that you can actually keep in place? It's no more doing. I'm still giving the free plan that you can move on. And that is what the lockdown have shown us, that we must have a BCP plan. In my organization, we're able to develop one a little bit prior before the lockdown because we were working on digitalization, about digital transformation. So we came up with a BCP and we were about implementing it, halfway implementation, and when the lockdown came in. And it helped us because we were able to roll out a lot of things, and I'm going to give that as a case study. So prior to the lockdown, many proactive organizations were able to immediately implement their BCP framework, and that worked and is still working for them. In this sense, technology became a very useful enabler. While digital transformation may take a while, the simple enterprise risk management measure of having a BCP in place makes a lot of difference. Maybe another time we'll talk about enterprise risk management, which is as most important as insurance. Every organization, no matter if it is 5-man company, must have an ERM in place. You are the universe of risk that business is exposed: liquidity risk, reputational risk, credit risk, operational risk, financial risk, economic risk, legal risk. So we're going to look at them. So you look at this risk and put in place this. When you have an ERM philosophy for your organization, for your household, you'll be able to come up with a BCP plan. Now, if you have the main reason that you have an additional gas bottle downstairs, in case the one upstairs finishes in the middle of the night, it's a business continuity plan. The main reason that you have Indomie, in case if you are weak and you cannot warm up the soup or make soup, it's a BCP, it's business continuity plan. Because you have Indomie that you can actually do Indomie immediately and eat. So business is supposed, you don't need to be a very big conglomerate to have a BCP. You must have a disaster plan. That's what business continuity is all about. Now, today, the workplace, we now heard about WFH, work from home. It's not the end thing. Some of our colleagues have refused to come back to the office. They say they prefer to work from home. Our management have actually started to come up. I was asked to come up with a KPI for those who are working from home. So we are now developing another KPI for key performance indicators to appraise those who are working from home. So the remote working structure has come to stay and is going to stay. And look at it. It is even, in some instances, it has saved cost. So that is the strategic imperative that we all face. Now let's go to survival strategies for the new normal. Evolutionary biology taught us that organisms, particularly animals, always adopt survival strategies in order to adapt to changes in their ecosystem. For businesses may include creating and having an online presence. This is easier for those who may already have operations with digital presence. It becomes easier to migrate to e-commerce, or what I may call ease-commerce. For brick and mortar operations, start upgrade quickly to digitalization. Listen to your customers and accommodate their needs. Offer new services or products that are likely to peak in demand such as niche products that have gone viral or services that answer to newly passed regulation. Example, production of hand sanitizer, face masks, use of Okada to distribute products and others, etc. So the new normal has posed some challenges, and there are survival strategies that can actually use to confront these challenges. There are some survival strategies like I've just given, and there are many others that you can actually come out from this when you try to decompose or even try to implement this. What you are looking in Sokoto might be in this you are Sokoto. Now we look at alternative survival strategy. In this slide, I have been able to categorize the strategies like straying, consolidating, recovering slowly, seizing, continuing, or staying on the course. Now, if there is a severe structural challenge, the solution, the problem is a severe structural challenge. The strategy will be straying, moving away. This is a strategy suitable for organizations confronted by severe structural challenge arising from ongoing pandemic. Example is the travel sector, airline, hospitality, entertainment. Now, during this period, some airlines have actually converted their cargo planes to their passenger planes to cargo planes because they need to pay the bills. And some event centers have been converted to hospitals. Some entertainment places have been converted. So what it means there that the strategy, if there is structural challenge, can be a straying away from what you used to do. Straying is moving away, horizontal, vertical movement. Now you have consolidating, where for this is for high tech and manufacturing. This consolidating strategy can be pursued by those in wholesale business, those who engage in high tech production. They may have to redefine their business models in order to survive under the newly emerging business environment. If you have been producing heavy machines, it's time to start producing private personal protection equipment. Go into medical production, because for this time period, it might take 5 years for the world to come back. And some of those things may not come back to full normalcy. Some things have come to stay. So that is the period to consolidate. And you can gradually return to what you have been producing. For non-food firms, gainers from the current state of affairs, there are people who are gainers. The strategy here is that they are suitable for non-food retail to slowly start coming back to business. Slowly, if you have been serving up to Agege or up to Ikeja, you might just start serving from Aja or Lekki up to Lagos Island. Now, the season strategy will be for those appropriate in the industry that will profit most from the opportunities. There are some industries, some pharmaceuticals, even companies that are producing cosmetics and so on and so. They can actually use this operation to convert some production line to sanitizers, disinfectants, medical PPEs. So they are seizing the opportunity to move into the current state of affairs. Now, for those not doomed, they are neither doomed nor they are gainers. The strategy that is here is staying on course. These strategies are well suited for businesses that are neither doomed to extinction nor destined to prosper as a result of the crisis, e.g. real estate, pharmaceuticals, and financial service. Most banks now that have their code, what's that called? SS code, USS code. You find out that people are no more going into the banking hall because they have USS code. And their insurance USSD code, thank you very much. There are insurance companies that, like my insurance company, you can actually buy third-party insurance and immediately with your USSD code now. Zenith Insurance. Zenith Insurance, I'm doing free advert for you. Zenith Insurance can actually sell you insurance policy, the same thing with the Mansard, with their USSD code as well. So staying on course for financial service at this particular time, because they're neither doomed nor are they gainers. They are giving essential services which people must either use. Another thing is to move into those supplementary sector. It might not be easy, but you can actually move into those. I saw a car manufacturing company that have started manufacturing what's this thing? This thing that is used for breathing, that is in high demand now for COVID period.
Ventilator.
It was an AC company, and the company that do the technology for radiator. I didn't know that the technology for radiator is very close to that of ventilator. So some car manufacturing company have actually moved to produce ventilators from the radiator technology and the AC technology as well. So these are the structural, strategic imperative that will be necessary to survive in the new normal, that will be able to bullet point like Chinedu said earlier. So choose your strategy. No chess player can calculate an entire chess game from beginning to an end. We do not know where this is going to end or where it's going to lead us. Even the best computer programs running on fastest hardware can only see a limited number of moves on chess. If you play chess like I play chess, it is not every time that you even know that your opponent is even seeing your queen. And one lateral movement, it will say checkmate. And that is what happens in the real world of business. So to finally, I give us the case study of a Nigerian insurance organization. So I use the staircase infographics here. We immediately implemented our BCP with smooth access to core servers and setting up the virtual private network VPN. This allows seamless connection 24/7. The next thing, to ensure business continuity during and after the COVID lockdown, we provided portable working tools, laptops to over 80% of our staff. We optimize collaborative working tools like Microsoft Teams, Zoom, that fostered efficiency and productivity during and after the lockdown. We strongly engage in digital education for all staff to ensure seamless cultural transition into the world recognized as the new normal. We embarked on a journey of digital upgrade. So this was the case study of an insurance company where I work. And this was what we did last year around February, January, before the full lockdown. And it actually helped us. And if you look at our balance, if you look at our statement of financial report, the profit and the turnover that we wrote last year, we've never written or made it in the whole 30 years existence of that organization. And our peers were asking us, what happened? What happened? In December, in December 2019, when we did our strategy section and implemented the first year for implementation of our 5-year strategic document, digital transformation was at the front burner. So digital transformation, part of the digital transformation after our digital audit was to have in place a business continuity plan in case anything happened. As if we know it. In fact, as a result, the board rewarded the executive management because it was as if we knew what was going to happen. So that actually helped us. So we were able to have our marine insurance. We were able to connect with Chevron and the other big ticket accounts. Instead of them coming to our office to assess marine insurance certificate, they just log in, tell us that they want to do, even Procter & Gamble, they were just telling us, okay, we gave them access, so we have an interconnectivity with their with their server to access our marine insurance certificate. And they were using it, and what we were just seeing was that we were seeing that our account is being recorded, and they were moving, and all we did, we have used this marine certificate number, this, while everybody was at home, and we were working from home. So that was what helped us in during the pandemic, and we were able to make huge, and overhead cost was reduced. Administrative cost was also reduced, and that helped our bottom line. And we recorded in excess of 1.5 billion as profits. You can see you can go to Nigeria Stock Exchange and log in and see linkage accounts.
Wow, thank you
public
so much.
Company, you can actually see. So, in the final note, this could mean anything from enabling work. So I gave us return, restart, repurpose. Return for all business returning to operational normality is vital. But the new normal means that they cannot simply return to operating as they did before. Digital transformation is universal route to returning to business in the new normal. Restart. Previously, many hold the view that partial or remote workplace would be unthinkable. Even places of worship have restarted by embracing digital hall of worship. The same meetings, schools, and even board meetings and conferences have restarted. The third as is repurpose. The pandemic has necessitated a change in direction to survive. Therefore, survival calls for a repurpose for the mission and vision of the enterprise. Thank you.
Thank you so much. A round of applause for our presenter. I have really done justice to today's topic. I must tell you, it's
can I say something, please?
Yeah. In fact, when I see this 3R, I remember the Biafran 3R, restructuring, rebuilding, and in fact, I said this is exactly what we need right now. Thank you so much. I want to especially thank you for this wonderful section. I will now hand over for a closing remark and
something
to Collins Obara, who will do a closing remark and possibly coordinate input from any member who wishes to make an addendum or make a request or make any official input for the IHOP to consider. Remember that the consultancy session the presenter granted the IHOP is open. If you're interested, you put down your email address and it will be captured. Also, remember that in the introductory part, when the chairman shared about the 20 billion ideation fund that had gotten a lot of input up to 500 billion that is coming up, is open and will be an opportunity for you to support and sustain your business in addition to the topic already discussed today. So Chairman, kindly do a closing remark, and possibly if there's anyone who have one or two to add or request, you can up your mic on it and make the input after the chairman. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chinedu. I will not be doing a closing remark, but I'll just be mentioning something and allow others to make their comments if there is any before I talk. Now, what I want to mention is that after this session, we need to have a session organized by the Innovation Hub where IMO Prof will be addressing business owners of the association and every other person that wants to be part of it. I am
like a breakfast.
Yes, yes. You know, because of the pandemic, we didn't continue the breakfast session. Okay. Prof, we used to have something we call the breakfast session at the hub in Sulere. You understand? So we've only had two when this pandemic came up. And that breakfast session is supposed to be a high-level business meeting with industry players and with small business owners. It's been a wonderful experience so far for us. In fact, one of the members, I'm sure you know Clifford Wosu. Clifford Wosu had to come in from Canada.
I know Clifford Wosu. When I was in year one, he was in year 3.
Exactly. So Clifford is the head of IT Africa for EcoBank.
EcoBank, yes.
So he came in from Canada for one of the sessions, you know. So I think we need to have these top level sessions. We are going to have that conversation with you, and we're going to be discussing with some of the business owners and also all those who will be interested. They don't have to be Futo graduates, but we have a list of over 50 companies owned or managed by Futo members of the Futo alumni. You understand? And to be frank with you, I'm sure that every one of them have similar experiences that I just told you. But to be frank, if I had that fidelity insurance, I'm telling you, I won't be having the headache I am having now. You understand? Yeah. Because everything that happened there could have been avoided, could have been solved, could have been dealt with, and all of that. And I have 3 of our members. You know them. You know GMO, of course. GMO. I consult for GMO for business reengineering and also opening other businesses. And I know that they will need this particular offering. And I was there when you spoke with Sam Obasi. You remember that day you spoke with Sam?
I know.
I was there with Good.
Yeah.
So, and they need to take something like this. One of our members is also building his factory. He's also building a new factory somewhere, and of course the workers and all those, there has to be workman compensation and all of other insurances for the workers that have been on site. And we are supposed to meet in March this month, by next week, because he called me so that I can also help him design some of the processes and all that. And I'm seeing that a lot of risk could be managed with this. You know? So there needs to be, and from what you are saying, it means that even IT, some of our members are something like FPG covers, secures the network for Zenith Bank. And so there could also be risk. There could also be risk in that will cover him, because it's more like a consultancy service. You understand? And there are also some organizations that offer consultancy. Yeah, organizations that will offer consultancy to, like presently I offer to NNPC and all that. So these are some of the things that personally I didn't know, that these things could all be covered, or these things could all be insured, or could all be handled one way or the other. And so we're going to have that. That's what I want to mention. That's what I want to. In addition to those small businesses that you have to mentor, we have one of our members who makes yogurt and all that. And so, I mean, as small as it is, that small business could also be secured by just little, you know, with 11,000 and you're securing, covering 5 million. That's awesome.
5 million.
You know, so that's what we are going to be, and I needed to prepare for that when it comes in. It's probably going to be a Zoom meeting, but if it's not a Zoom meeting, we usually have such meetings in either Sheraton or Protea Hotel. And if the innovation hub will not carry the space or the kind of activity that we want there. So that's what I want to mention. And so let the others can ask questions and make comments, contributions.
Okay. So thank you so much for that product that have been developed from here. I will be very much interested. Other companies should be interested on how to use this insurance opportunity to give life to their business. Chairman, don't forget, you should, after this meeting, as a matter of urgency, raise up letter to that effect, so that we begin to work towards it to organize this special insurance cover section. Because once we have our own as an insurance operator, we can get the right dividend and the right benefit. That's how it works in Nigeria. That's how it works. So any other person who have an input that wish to make, this is the time. If there is none, then we will start getting to a closure. Is there any other person who want to talk to Prof, or want to have one or two things to say to us?
If Brachi, you don't have anything to say, you know, you're always asking very smart questions and making solid contributions.
Thank you for calling my attention. For now, I don't have any questions for the
What's your line of business again?
Okay, I have online shopping, and then I also do online data recharge and airtime sales.
Okay, Prof, is there any coverage for an online business owner? That
yes, there's a coverage for him. He can actually have a fidelity goods in transit cover. When people order his, like Jumia secured the Asa Mansard, and we have another. Amazon is covered insurance.
Okay.
You have online distributors. So if they are to deliver their goods to somewhere, and the person now said, I didn't get the same thing I delivered, and so the carrier damage or cause a loss in quality of that good. And instead of the owner and the online marketer or the online seller using his money to replace it, he fall upon his insurance.
Okay.
And that
how much does it cost her to get this service?
In transit, it costs from the point of departure to the point of distribution. It's as very little as it depends on the total turnover. You can buy a turnover. You can buy what we call a per transit, or you buy an annual cover. So whenever you make a declaration, you notify insurance company that today, this month, I'm going to ship out, or I'm shipping out 25 goods, 25, maybe 2,000, 5,000 goods, and this is their value. So we are going to give you a premium rated based on the type of good. Are they easily perishable goods? Are they goods that are very attractive? Are they goods that the security is not that much? So the premium is not uniform across board. It depends on the attractiveness, perishability of the goods, portability of the goods that can easily be carried up, and that's how it is. As good as like a movement of human hairs, because women are into cosmetics, those that move human hair, Brazilian hair, the different cosmetic, they have insurance as well.
Great.
Online distributors.
Great. And I believe that if Brachi, you will be able to make more profit, because I know that once people make an order and you ask them, do you want your order to be insured? And they choose yes.
Yes. And you need to do that.
It increases your turnover. I have been a very good customer to Amazon. I think I use that insurance cover. With insurance cover, maybe you buy the insurance cover for an item product, it qualifies you for a speedy delivery and all that. Mr. Collins, I'll come back to you. Is there a person who need okay, let me ask Mr. Peter Eboye, please, I would like to hear from you. I strongly appreciated your question. You have both to tell the truth to us about the situation of insurance cover in Nigeria, though majority do pay. I know, I just got to know that Linkage also pays like ICO Insurance pays too. So I would like to hear from you. Do you run a business where you are? What I would just want to interact with you for subsequent sections, if you don't mind. Peter Eboye, if you're still there. Okay.
Hello. Sorry. Yes, I'm still here. I'm actually engaged in something else. I'm an employee, and I work in the housing industry here. So I used to be an insurance person back home in Nigeria. So obviously, actually appreciate the progress the insurance industry has made in Nigeria. So like I said, obviously the beauty of insurance is when the customers get value for their money, especially what they insured against. If the peril they insured against actually occurred and the claim is settled and they are put back into the same position they were prior to the loss, then obviously that's when they appreciate the importance of insurance, and which leads to customer loyalty and more businesses. So, and I'm happy with what the Prof has actually submitted today, that insurance industry, they are getting it right now. So it's good for all stakeholders to be able to benefit from the beauty of insurance.
Okay. Thank you so much. Please do welcome our invitation, because we're going to have a roundtable. Just like the chairman spotted out, we will have a roundtable for business owners to take the best insurance cover that will work in Nigeria. Thank you so much. Emmanuel Chime, do you have any, what, do you run a business? Emmanuel Chime with us? Okay. If Emmanuel Chime is not with us, at this point, we have done justice to today's program. Mr. Chairman, at this point, I think I have delivered on my mandate. You will bring the program to an end and give us a closing prayer so that I can focus on other events. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. I see Emmanuel Chime's thumbs up. Okay, he's raising his hand. You can't.
Okay, Emmanuel Chime, you can have the mic. You can unmute yourself and give us your. Let's encounter you. Let's meet you.
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Yeah, can you turn on your camera?
Good evening. Okay, no, I don't have any problem. It's educative. It's educative. Thank you so much.
Okay, okay. God bless you.
Yeah.
So, Chairman,
okay, so
for us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prof. You know, one thing about this talk is that the information to Prof was a very short notice, but we got much more than we expected, and it's so loaded, you know, and every opportunity like this is an opportunity to learn something. And you will see that every time you learn something, you become better. It's at times, you know, there's a way you keep reading about NASA and the guys that went to the moon. By the time you begin to talk about it, it will be as if you actually went to the moon with them. You understand? And so that is what it takes for you to, for any person to be able to be part of, or what you gain when you are part of one training or one event or the other. You understand? So people will keep asking you, how come you know so many things? It is not because you know so many things. You actually want to learn so many things. You learn, and people like us who like to know something about everything, just something. Yeah, you don't have to know everything or go no deep, but just know something about everything. You understand? And let me give you one. I know there are just a few people here, and of course, many are called and few are chosen. When we started sending marketing emails to members of the association, emails to people, that we use MailChimp. And I'm somebody who likes to do research. I like research a lot. I like to talk from the point of knowledge, from the point of facts. You know, so that's why. And I started checking. Each time a mail is sent, we'll further achieving like 20% opening. And then we began to achieve 40% opening. But I was now checking the names of those who were always opening the emails that was coming in from the association. And I realized that the people who were opening these mails and reading it, there are people, if you look at them, you will know that they have an efficient lifestyle. Efficient lifestyle. You understand? The people who don't read it are always people who clap for this set of people who always read in the association. When these people talk and when these people donate money or do this, they're always clapping for them. So you will realize that you will now understand why. So that data and a lot of the data actually helped me as the chairman of the association. So it helped me to know who to meet and to meet with, who to talk to, who to talk with, who to spend time with, and who to relate with in order to grow the association. So it wasn't really magic that a lot of these things were happening. They were data-driven decisions. And so when you take data-driven decisions,
you said something that pricked me, Chairman. Let me cut you short. You see, when we were in a program yesterday in Genje Media TV, you hear the presenter begging people, go and read the document. Go and read the document, because a lot of persons do not take time to get this information.
Yes, and that's why they were saying
it's not needed, but they don't know that businesses are run from various experiences you've gathered from different angles. Use them to make decisions. You make a decision based on the data that are available to you. They think that some of us who want to attend most of these things, by all means, we are just doing it because we have time in essence. No. I read in a program, one of the business muguns, he says he reads newspaper because newspaper helps him to get the society problems.
Yeah.
You get that? For me, I do not like to miss opportunities like this because it helps me to get exactly the pressure that is on top my clients whom I hope to deliver product to. So when you made that analogy and you find out that these are the idea-seeking individuals opening
data-driven. So that was why when we wanted to start the innovation hub, I knew the people I needed to talk to, and I went straight to them and I pitched them, and each of them gave ₦1 million each. In fact, one of them was not in Lagos. He said he's in US, and I kept calling. I was calling every day. Okay, you have to come down. You know JCJ now, JCJ. You understand? So I was calling him, JCJ, okay, you must come down, He eventually did. He came down, you understand? Because no. So that's one of the beauty of attending this type of event. And if we didn't attend this event, and if we didn't set this talk, how am I even going to have an insight that I could actually have prevented the incident? I could have actually prevented the losses. Okay, look at what happened. I produced lubricant, but this time I imported some products. We had one container, and we got into containers, and we wanted to open the Nnewi market. So I've gone to do a research, and I found out that there is a need for a particular kind of lubricant product, and that's what we got down. And we moved the product in, and we got a single distributor there, and we said all the products will pass through you. And so what the guy did was that he insured, like he covered all the product. He said any product that is sold, he will pay, but everything will come through him. I sent my people there, and I said, okay, fine, let's go there and do a marketing event, open the market and all that. They went there, and the money that was paid, the mistake was that this man, we didn't discuss that this man will put his people or his accountant to follow my people, because it is him that will need to take responsibility. But my people started spending the money. In 2 days, 2.3 million has been spent on what? You understand? So the guy got angry, and we went there. I had to save the reputation, I had to appeal to him and all that. And by the time we began to look at all the losses and whatever, we had done a loss of about 6 million.
What?
6 million. It was devastating. And let me tell you what's the shocking thing about that. That particular additional, and I took additional money from the bank. The money was given to me on reputational basis, 10 million without a collateral from First Bank. No collateral, nothing. They just said, you understand this downstream industry like the back of your palm. On the basis of that, you are not sure you are ever going to make a mistake. And I made a mistake. So if there was an insurance,
fidelity guarantee insurance, he would have covered. He would have recouped from that. If they are not going to pay you 100%, he will remove what we call excess and pay you 98 or 95% of it. Because when you take a cover, you are expected to be a part of the loss. You are expected to be a co-insurer. The purpose of that is to make you to take every step to ensure that nothing goes wrong. So, and that's why as well I said that when you say that there's going to be business advisory on the hub, it's important to have that business advisory, to give that advisory to ensure that when you are taking this kind of thing, you must have an insurance. I mean, it is a crime. My office gave me a Samsung in December. When we made that profit, they said all escrow members choose between iPhone 11, iPhone 12, and Samsung Note 10. And I went for Samsung Note 10 because I already have an iPhone. I already have iPhone X, and I don't want the 12 or 11. So immediately you are taking it, the market price is 450,000 for Samsung. As you are taking it, linkage, First Bank Insurance, FBN is insuring that iPhone and all the Samsung. That linkage, which is an insurance company, is given to ESCO members. So, and all our iPad, immediately as you are signing ticking insurance, and it's deducted straight from your salary. So if an insurance company now we see that we can lose that on the hold up by one idiot slapping us and say, give me your phone, give me your iPad. Then why wouldn't another person who is not an insurer, we even have more risk exposed? Because as a risk, as a risk and undertaker, risk underwriter, I don't go out with some of my phone every night. I want to jog, I want to take a walk. I go with the Palasa one. That if you say, give me, I even give it into you in your palm. That's risk management measures.
Wow. This is
so now, Chinedu, the ideas fund, the hobbits that we are raising, I think by the time I will be doing the final review, we will need to look at where the insurance part of it will come in.
In fact, so he has a big quota to play in there.
Yes,
so
that he will also
play that document because
part of the review.
Yeah, because we have to finish the one you're going through before we can look at the rest. If you look at page document 5, page 39 or thereabout, it talked about insurance cover and all that. It's very, very important. He will definitely make input in it, because I will want a situation whereby the professional indemnity that he talked about, which was discussed in one of the documents, I want a situation whereby he will give the best take that we will use to protect both the idea owners and the funders from losing the business. Because you find a situation whereby idea owners send in their idea, they are not funded, and their business get to
away from
operating by maybe a funder who has a higher capital. If you read that document, there is a provision for that to ensure that whomever that is funding an idea and have a privileged information signs up a non-disclosure agreement with us, and also takes on the indemnity of the idea from the owner, so that you don't take the owner, whether he has done his copyright or whether he has done his registration, he's patenting, you are not permitted to lift the idea for any other side. It's all contained in there. So definitely I will love to have his contact, because at the time of designing both modus operandi of obtaining the fund, I want a situation whereby we will only consider those who have insurance cover as our first beneficiaries. Yes.
And if they don't have, they will now need.
They don't have. It's not that their idea is not selling, but because they don't have insurance cover, we are not going to risk our first investment in their hands.
Yeah, we'll advise them to go for it.
Yes, but if they're able to get insurance cover, then we can lift them up from probational role into full access to the Hobbit project. So once we are done with the very first stage, we'll get into that. I would definitely love to have his contact, because I would love to recommend, because what is actually obtainable is that when you are making a proposal of what you need in such an idea, you will have a certified professional who you can refer people to go and take that insurance from, that will always cover the policy when it's being called upon. So I am very much glad that we had. You can understand why I insisted that we talk about this insurance zone. So I'm very much glad to have met him, and to be very honest with you, he gave the critical things that every business needs to. I want to share a life testimony to you. Let me share this life testimony to you. In 2014, after I came back from Lagos Business School, I wrote a business plan, and I decided to take up one of the opportunities that came around. They came up with the issue of this key man insurance. I told them, no, You cannot talk about key man insurance because we have about 3 people in our board membership, and we also have written this business plan, and have also have got an insurance. So what are you talking about key man insurance? Yes, the 2 directors I have are not food professionals. I am one of the major director, and I'm likely present. Why are you saying key man insurance is an impediment to our application? To be very honest with you, I won that argument. Why? Because I had idea of what key man insurance was all about from ICO Insurance PLC. So he needs to actually play very important role in our Hobbit project, because we'll have it solidified, then we can be sure that nobody comes around to toy around with the project. Thank you so much for this opportunity you've given to the iHub to interact with you. We so much appreciate your work and so much appreciate what you're doing in the industry. We want to thank Peter Eboye for his patience. I've never seen somebody who is as patient as he is. He came in first. He was among the first that came in. I have been here up to this very moment. I say thank you and bravado. Ifebrachi, I know I wouldn't thank you enough more than I would thank your business, because I know you are sitting tight to ensure that you see to the end so that you can benefit your business.
And she never misses anyone.
Yes,
she never misses anyone
sweet smile of yours.
From TMIT 1 to
TMIT. So much appreciate that. But please turn your camera so you can see this big smile that you always put up on this your background. Then Emmanuel Chime. Emmanuel Chime, I'm coming across your name for the very first. Oh, you see the smile, his regular smile. Oh, great. Thank you so much. Emmanuel Chime, please, can we have the privilege of seeing your face in case of if we run into you in any part of the world, we can be able to know that, yes, you are one of us, and we'll definitely love to have a cup of coffee and discuss further. If it's possible, if it's not possible, some subsequent time, we say thank you. I hope, thank you for the opportunity given us to brainstorm. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and we so much appreciate your presence. Please, you will get the slides, and all attendees who registers will get the slides from the iHub's directorates. They will do justice to the slides and ensure that we get the right copy. Do open our mails. Even if you don't hope to attend, it always carries information. Thank you so much. And
Chinedu, don't forget, this event was streamed live on YouTube, so you cannot those you can share with other people who didn't participate. They can go back to YouTube and listen to this talk. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel and pass on to others to subscribe to the YouTube channel, so that we'll continue to pass this message. We don't know what the next one will be, but we're planning that the next TMIT talk is going to be looking at digital security, and we are looking at talking with Engineer Rex Mafiana, because the new normal has exposed us to a lot of online scam, online insecurity, and all that. So a lot of people also, I found out that just having HTTPS, which is the secured part of HTTP, is no more as secured as it used to be when there is HTTP. You understand? So the question now is, how do we now assure end-to-end encryption? You understand? How do we now look at how to manage the privacy? How are we going to look at all that? So because the new normal has put a lot of people online, it has thrown people online. And so that throwing people online has exposed a lot of people to the risk of being attacked. Some people also don't know that you can have a laptop. Once you go online, the laptop is not yours. Somebody from another country may be using your laptop for you.
Yes.
You understand? And the person will sell your laptop. Somebody can sell your laptop and you think you still own it, but you don't own it. And they use your laptop to attack another bank system. And before you know it, so how do we know that these things are happening? So these are some of the things also we need to look at in the new normal. And we are going to be sending messages to everyone who are part of this event and those who have been part of the events in the past. Thank you so much, everyone. My name is Colin Sofara, the chairman of Future Alumni Lagos Chapter, and we will continue to do the best we can to change the world. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, Collins. Thank you, Chinedu.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ifebruchi. Thank you, Peter. Peter and I used to work before when he was in Nigeria.
Wow.
And whenever I'm in UK, I stay in his house. Don't mind him.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you, Prof.
So great.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
It's been
you
a very
so
good
much.
session. Thank you so much.
Have
a lovely weekend.
So Peter, please, we will appreciate to also have your contact in case of contact and maybe discussions on other opportunities. Like you must have heard about the Hobbit project. We also want international partnership. My name is Engineer Thomas Chinedu. I actually try to see the linkage we can make between the diasporan economy and the Nigerian economy. And I'm hoping that the Hobbit project will put the enough resources we need as human resources to ensure that we take back the benefits of this developed world or how these things work to use it to improve the life of our people back home in Nigeria. Thank you so much. We'd love to have
Chinedu, talking about the diasporan economy, before this, our event, can you hear me now? My
yes,
network
I can hear
is a
you.
bit unstable.
I can hear you. Mr.
So before this event,
for your photograph.
Yeah, we're seeing Emmanuel's place now.
Yeah.
Before this event, there's actually another event organized by Fidelity Bank. You understand? Fidelity Bank was trying to look at diaspora remittances. And the record is showing that diaspora remittances is about 25 billion. You understand? So now Fidelity Bank is now looking at, just like what Prof said, that you see, Fidelity Bank is changing strategy. It's looking at how to capture these diaspora remittances before every other bank begin to capture the diaspora remittances. So in that event, you have the representative of the Vice President, Professor Osibado. You have Ndubise Kekwe speaking at that event. In fact, when I saw that stuff, I chatted him up, and he responded and said, look, in a few minutes, I'll be entering. I said, yes, I know that if in a few minutes, you'll be entering. As another professor, then Emefiele spoke, you understand? So now the new MD of Fidelity Bank, the woman, she also spoke, and it was from there I knew, I gathered an idea of what they are planning to do. And you see, what they are trying to say is that they want to make it very easy for diasporans to open accounts with Fidelity Bank with just the USSD code or with any code, very easy, and that they can transact. Now, if peradventure the diaspora say, okay, they want to build houses and all that, they don't need to go through their brothers again or family that will eat their money. They can go through Fidelity Bank. And Fidelity Bank will continue to construct that. Understand? And you know what it means is that Fidelity Bank will now tell them that, look, even your this building you're doing, the money you're bringing, we are insuring your money so that in case you don't get what you are expecting, the bank will pay you. So the bank will be making money from the charges one. And now CBN is now saying that for every $1,000 that is coming in, understand, there is an amount they give back in Naira to the person or the diaspora that is bringing that money into Fidelity Bank account or any of the banks. And you know that when CBN brings it, even if they do a give back, I think it's a 5 Naira per.
Is it 5 Naira per 1 Naira? Yeah.
Yeah, per $1 or something like that.
Yeah, 5 Naira per 1 Naira.
If you look at the difference between the parallel market and then the parallel market and the official rate, you will know that 5 Naira is just a small money for the CBN to give out. Do you understand? So when these things are coming up, so Fidelity Bank is already taking opportunity, and Fidelity Bank is one bank that has always positioned itself as like a southeastern centric bank, whatever. And
yeah, but Chairman, I want
people are bringing almost all the money.
I want you to also consider the very important point Prof raised today. We need to put it into consideration. I love the diasporan policy that State Bank is bringing. He made a very important point that people from the East do not buy insurance to cover their businesses.
No. He was talking about not buying insurance to cover their agro business. Agri.
Even if, yes, I'm using that as an example. People from the East, we have a research. People from the East, the Easterners are the worst in the purchase of insurance. Even the compulsory insurance, they buy the fake one. So, and that gives insurance badness, because when they buy the fake one, this thing can get fake police. Yeah, when this thing is given to you, can get fake police. Just give me this, let me pass police. When this thing is given to you to pass police, it is a fake cover. And when there is a claim, you call that number. It is a bush. There is no building there. The insurance company does not exist. And so it is very, very rampant in the East, because we at the moment now, I'm trying to devise a strategy for Eastern branches. Our branch managers in the East, I'm working on a strategy, marketing strategy for the market geography of the East. Because, look at something like Islamic insurance, which is Takafu insurance. The location that sells the highest Takafu insurance is Port Harcourt. It's not even Kanu. It's Port Harcourt. It's not Kaduna. Port Harcourt, when I was in Cornerstone Insurance, we sell more Takafu in Port Harcourt. And if you go to statistics of Nigeria Insurance Association, Port Harcourt revenue on Takafu is highest. If you drill down on the data, because data is important, if you drill down that data, it's oil workers. And if you drill down all the data, the oil workers are not Muslims per se. They are Christians. But because Takafu is ethical insurance product, it's ethical finance. So because it's used, because the Takafu fund is not used for hotel, it's not used for brewery, it's not used for anything that is halal. Forbidden. Halal is forbidden in Islam. So not for halal. So people like the Sukuk fund, people tend to buy Takafu. And in Takafu insurance, if you buy Takafu insurance today and you do not have any claim, you will be part of what we call surplus sharing. So at the end of the insurance period, they will do term on risk, and maybe you paid 15,000 naira, and your risk and everything, the operational cost, administrative cost that are from that premium. So the surplus will now be 5,000. So you'll be part to share on that 5,000 naira. So Takafu insurance is another thing that is going on now in the country, but where it is in the East. Because our Easterners said, okay, I tell you that one who get resource soon, them can get apathic.
Prof, you have made a lot of things in this business, in this industry.
I don't even do agriculture that Professor Siloje taught me. Professor Siloje taught me. I'm not in agriculture.
Oh my God. Okay, great, wonderful people. Please have more of this. Prof, to further strengthen your ideation, Ndibo, they believe so much in religion, in Christ Jesus. So maybe you try to use a more
what we tell them now is that okay, there's something we call no claim discount. You earn no claim discount as you insure with people. So what we do in the East, part of the strategy is to give them upfront their no claim discount.
Okay.
So the no claim discount they're supposed to have earned after 3 or 4 years that they did not make claim. Near fire is Ozubo. So they earn their no claim discount. So that is the marketing strategy we use for the East. So give them the no claim discount immediately upfront. Now, during the time of Hummer Jeep, there was a man that bought a Hummer Jeep. That time that was 1999. Peter was working with us that time in Fortune Assurance. And the Jeep was 15 million naira in 1999. So we asked him to insure the Jeep. He said no, that he wants third party because he already have a policy with us. And that was on 23rd December, and he was traveling to East. He said he would do Christmas in Lagos, and on 28th that he head to Nnewi. This man took third party after we pleaded and asked him to pay. How much was his premium? 150,000 naira then. Because we gave him a fleet discount. He refused. So he dropped his Hummer Jeep. On our road on a head bridge. Boys, we see Igwe. Go see Igwe. Now drop all this thing. You are alive for this Jeep. The guy with his Hummer Jeep released the key. With his, when he saw AK-47, he just gave out the Hummer Jeep.
Hey.
He didn't do Christmas, so by 3rd January he was in our office pleading, begging, asking us to do deal that he actually brought cash of 500,000 that we should smuggle the policy, that he had actually took the policy. Wasu, who was the head of claims, Peter knows Wasu. Wasu and I, we said we're not going to do that. We've already issued the policies in the system. We issued you third party, you did not buy comprehensive. We beg you to take 150,000, make a commitment. If you had made a commitment of 50,000, would have paid that claim.
Yes. If
you had made a commitment of 50,000, we would have paid that claim 100%. All we have to do is to ask him to pay the balance of 100,000. Then we'll pay, because when insurance take risk, they do what we call reinsurance and spread it around the whole world.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, when our own share of the risk liability might just be 5% of that 15 million. So he didn't pay it, and he didn't pay the claim. There was no claim. He cannot claim.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is it. And he will not enjoy the full benefit. You see?
He didn't enjoy the full benefit.
Is well. Prof, you know that the more people know, the more they understand, the more they do this. For instance, I have been looking for educational policy. I know ICO runs it.
Yes.
I know ICO runs 15 years educational policy, child educational policy, and all that. Please, when we meet on the business meeting, I would like that you prepare us a package that will cover, protect our business and protect the interest of our workers for safety.
Okay, there's something. When I was in Cornerstone, my MD that time was the president of Nigerian Bar Association Lagos branch, Lagos chapter. So 2 of their members suffered fire. One suffered fire, destruction of his chamber. So all his law reports and outs were lost. And the man almost committed suicide. The other one died, and his families were. So the Bar Association Lagos chapter was such in a need. And he came to me and said, what can we do? Think. You are the head of corporate development that time. So I said, sir, I just entered my office and they put 2 or 2 together. I said, sir, I have a product plan. He said, what? I said, it's called Bar Comprehensive Plan. He said, what do you mean? I said, it's an insurance plan for bar lawyers. It covers their chambers. It covers life insurance for them. If anything happened to them, term assurance. It covers personal accident for them if they die by accident and they are incapacitated not to cover. And they started selling it. So it became a policy that if you are renewing your subscription as a member of the Lagos chapter of Nigerian Bar Association, you must buy the bar insurance, comprehensive insurance. And I think they are still selling it in Cornerstone. That was my product.
Wow. Great.
Peter wants to say something.
Please build this kind of product for iHub so that immediately you're taking up
it is not just iHub. I think Chinedu, this is about the 3rd or 4th year that we have been trying to get an insurance program for the alumni.
Okay.
And we set up the committee, and Moses committee is the next one. And then we started thinking, the committee has started thinking insurance and and HMO. But the idea, the mandate I actually gave the committee is this. Nothing elaborate, nothing too much, nothing too big. We were saying that we lost Oluchi Merenene because Oluchi needed immediate surgery. The family couldn't provide that money. Then we started struggling to raise the money, and we raised 500K assigned to the hospital. They started. When they started and they had cut Oluchi's spine open, doctors went on strike. Oluchi was abandoned with her body opened. Oluchi was taken home. Then Oluchi Then the family now called us that that Oluchi has been home and the body is open, the rotting and all. So on the day of Soulmate, on the dinner day of Soulmate 25th anniversary, Imo, I think you were there that day. Understand? So we started going around to talk. Yes, we were going around to talk to people, Gross J and Jamaica and all of other people. We spoke with them. So we raised 250,000 on that day, that evening. Then on by Saturday, by the following day, that was a Saturday. By the following day, Friday, sorry, following day, people have sent in their money. On Sunday, we were to send the money on Monday. It was on Sunday, they gave us the report that Oluchi had died. So we still sent the money we had raised to the family. But when we were talking about that, we now heard of another of our member, Ifeanyi Shimbu, who was going to Owerri and had an accident. He was taken to Federal Medical Center, Owerri. And so when Ifeanyi got there, Ifeanyi was not giving quick treatment. They wanted deposits. There was no money to deposit to Ifeanyi and all that. So we sent some people from Owerri to go and visit Ifeanyi on our behalf. Had that conversation with the hospital. Then we raised money. We raised about 650,000 as at that for Ifeanyi, and we sent in the money to them. They wanted 450 first. We sent in the money, and they said that Ifeanyi's situation has gotten that bad that they needed to amputate him, that the hand was getting rotten. And we said no, that they should not amputate Ifeanyi. Instead, they should do him skin grafting. So we sent in the money. I think we sent all the 680,000 later on, and the skin grafted Ifeanyi Shimbu. You understand? But because it was left unattended to, the pains that Ifeanyi experienced lasted very long. You understand? So for us, when I said that that initial every cut or every injury gets infected after 4 hours. You understand? Yeah.
Can I just nip you there? There's something that the association should have had, and I'm sorry, we're all guilty. I'm guilty about it. I should have done. I'm from Item, in Abia State, in Item. Now, we have Professor Joe Yunuku, who actually brought me into insurance, and he made it mandatory for the past 5 years to have what we call group life assurance, and that's what we suppose. So, as we are renewing every year, I just pay 3,000 naira. You can do for every member of a household 3,000 naira to have group life assurance. And that group life covers things like this. It covers death, medical expenses. So if they would have, the group life would have triggered immediately and provided for Oluchi and for this other guy you were talking. If we have group life, and because of the volume of members of this, the premium to pay for group life will not be much. Then we should also have group HMO, because we are a pool. The group HMO is, the premium there will be less. So the group HMO, so when we are doing our annual subscription renewal, it's embedded into that, and because it's a group, no, it's not going to be more than 5,000, even if it may not be even up to 5,000. And like in my local, in my Item Development Union, people stand up to pay for people. I paid for people. A lot of people pay for even Soulmate, who belongs to Soulmate. Me and Soulmate are from the same town. Soulmate pay for about 25 people their premium. It did not disclose. It said those who can I make this insurance? A lot of people pay for people who even have surplus subscription. So I will want the alumni to put group life and HMO into, and it takes this burden off. The speed and the frequency of response will be higher. Thank you.
That's eventually what the committee have decided, but they hadn't. I think they will. Moses and his team will have to have that conversation with you so that we'll get the best rates. Yes. From your experience,
I will
we need to get the best rates from that.
Companies, FBL, First Bank Insurance, Leadway Assurance, and ICO Assurance, or Asa Mansard.
Great.
Yeah,
so, covers Yeah, Peter is saying something.
Yeah, I was just going to add to what Imo I just said. There are so many products. Nigeria seems to be grossly underinsured in many areas. There are so many products that could be developed that will be beneficial, not just to individuals, even to groups, corporate bodies. He just made mention of group life insurance. There's even loss of income insurance, which
yes, there's loss of income now.
Not only to organizations, but even to individuals. Like those who lose their jobs, maybe during this pandemic,
There's loss of insurance, loss of income now.
Yeah, some people will think of committing suicide because they've lost, their plum job. When you have an insurance in place, of course, that insurance will be able to, sustain you for a number of years, when you'll be able to get another job. So that during that period, you will not even, feel the impact of your loss of job so much. I think it also has to do with legislation. This is where the insurance regulators need to lobby the government, to actually make certain products. Apart from motor insurance, I don't know in Nigeria now which other insurance product that is, compulsory.
This thing is not compulsory. You cannot have to raise a building of 2-story building in Lagos without insurance.
That's good, So
if you are a professional giving professional advice or supervisory advisory, you must have professional indemnity cover. Now it is mandatory.
Yeah, that's good.
And if you're an employee with more than up to 5 or more than 5 staff, you must have group life and group personal accident insurance. The problem is not enforcement.
Yeah,
I will need immediately, with immediate effect. I don't have that, and I will need it. I will need professional indemnity insurance. Please, I would love to know what I have to do for that.
I will talk to you later. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
So there's another aspect of insurance that about 5 insurance companies are doing now. It's called burial insurance.
Yeah, I know
people do a lot of expensive burial. So we have burial insurance. Tangerine Insurance, which is doing it. ICO is doing burial insurance, funeral cover, and Legal is doing funeral cover. So like Peter said, our problem is communication. Quite a lot of people are not aware of these things, and the legislation has actually given it, but they did not make these ones compulsory. They are making it's there for you to buy. If you want, you can buy.
Wow.
Wonderful.
So please, I need you to quickly work out this conversation. This we need to work out the corporate conversation with Imo. Then the committee will need to speak with Prof, so that we close out this particular part of the project quickly. So I want to thank a lot of people from other programs, especially Chinedu. So thank you so much, everyone, and thank you, Prof. Thank you, Peter, Iboye, and Efebrachi. Thank all of you for this moment. Prof, we are going to be calling you facts. Just keep your phone open for us.
No problem.
Come on,
Peter, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. For this wonderful section.
Thank you, Chinedu.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.